True Sky, Aquarius. Welcome to your reading for the month of July. So, at the moment for the solar transit through the sign of True Sky Gemini, I have chosen quite a few different fairy or fairy tale or folklore kind of decks for that transit. And the first deck I have already laid out for you here is the Mystic Fairy Tarot. And on the bottom of the deck we have for you the Ace of Wands. So that could be the underlying energy for you for the month. So it could be a month that, you know, passion projects or new passion projects specifically could be really important for you this month. Which is interesting because also here the central card for you for the month is the Two of Wands. So it's like that step up from the Ace. And the Two of Wands is, you know, it does have almost like a crossroads kind of energy to it. It can represent like an expansive kind of energy. So that could definitely be a theme for you for the month. So it's the central card, so it affects all the other cards that we have here. And it does have, you know, a bit of a energy around decision making. It can be linked even to like business, like partnerships. So it's got the two, obviously. It's generally not linked to love. However, some say that the Two of Wands is like your twin flame kind of card. So if you are into that energy, if your connection resonates on that level, this could be very much what this month revolves around, basically, because it is this central card here. It has like a not the most content card, because it has that kind of wanderlust energy. Like it's like you want to expand yourself and you have all these decisions to make, but there is an energy also of cooperation, but there could definitely be some travel involved here, and even potentially overseas. So the first card we have for you, so it's actually quite interesting. I think that it's the first card, so it has a lot of relevance for your month ahead, and it is your card, Aquarius. The Star card is associated with Aquarius. You know, it is the water bearer, and it is a card of hopes and wishes. It generally indicates that you have gone through some tough times recently and that they have ended, and now you're in a bit of a pause where you can actually kind of think about what it is in your life that you really would like in your life, and what you're hoping for, what you're wishing for, which is interesting because also we have the Chariot here as your crowning card for the month, and the Chariot also suggests travel. So interesting that we have this central card which could be linked to travel, and then we have the crowning card which also could be linked to travel. The Chariot, however, also can be linked to overseas travel. It also can be linked to a vehicle. So a vehicle could be very prominent as well this month for you. So it's your crowning card. So it's to do with your mind and also higher self. And then you have the Four of Swords, which is actually an interesting card because it's kind of the opposite, really, in a way, of the travel. It's more about resting, relaxing, and recuperating. So make sure you get some of that in as well this month. It looks like pretty much early on, like the first cards, I guess, are more the early, middle, and late part of the month as well. So definitely in the early part of the month, if you are traveling around a lot, make sure you're also getting enough rest and not overstimulating yourself. Then we have the Death card. So interesting, there's going to be some kind of significant change this month in your life. Some kind of loss, but it's something that was meant to happen, and you know, it's going to also open a new chapter in your life. And then we've got the Two of Wands. Then we have the Four of Cups. So this one does signify some dissatisfaction, which could be with an individual, but it could also be just in your situation. Because here it kind of suggests there is some discontentment as well. And that's why you're wanting to kind of, you know, travel and do other things. It's got that kind of like grass is always greener energy, the Two of Wands. Then here we have the Six of Swords. So another interesting card that is linked to having been going through hard times, and now you're actually on the other side. So you're actually in calmer waters. You've gotten out of that situation and you're in a lot calmer situation. So potentially this Death card could be even saying that situation, because we even have the Star, and she does represent that energy too after hard times, and so does the Six of Swords. So potentially it's that situation, that hard time you were going through, that's ended this month, or ending this month. For the base of the matter, you have the Moon card. So the Moon card it has a bit of mystery. There's often even a really strong link to your intuition with the Moon, and also your dreams, your gut feelings. But there can be like kind of subconscious insecurities and fears and things like that that can crop up as well. So this is for the base of the matter. And then we have the World. So we've had a lot of major arcana here in this spread so far. So the World is a really positive card though, and once again it is linked, and it's often linked to overseas travel, because it's the World, so it's about, you know, exploring your world. However, it's very positive. It's about like success, it's like an achievement, and also it's like got this energy of completion, fulfillment, sense of belonging and wholeness. So there's something kind of wrapping up this month for you, which is so interesting. It's like your final card here, Aquarius. So the next cards I'm going to read with is the Victorian Fairy Tarot, and on the bottom of the deck we actually have the card. So the underlying energy of this deck is the stars as well. So you have that twice, which is so interesting because it is Aquarius's card. So to clarify the Ace of Wands with the stars, the combination is actually really quite significant. I think for an Aquarian in general, because obviously we have the star involved. However, it can actually represent very spiritual energies in your life. It can even represent like a spiritual awakening, also just connection to higher consciousness, and also the manifestation of creative ideas, which is so lovely. So this month is looking really positive for you, Aquarius. Which is interesting because we do currently have the North Node in True Sky Aquarius. So obviously that is like the more positive end of the nodes. So that is definitely interesting there. To clarify the star, we have the World. So not only have we had the star twice during this reading for you, but we also have had the World twice. So once again, potential travel, could be overseas, but also some kind of closing up, some kind of successful completion or fulfillment in your life, and it is linked to these wishes and hopes. Then for the Chariot, we have the Fool. So this is all about a new beginning. So really interesting combinations here. So this is your crowning card. So there's some kind of new beginning, new chapter, new book in your life to do with your mind and your higher consciousness, basically, which is what that underlying energy was really kind of talking about as well. So more clarification there. Then for the Four of Swords, which was about that rest and recuperation, that's also important this month for you. You have Fortitude. So this is like your strength card. So it's all about that inner courage, inner strength, you know, to really help you in life. So that's a really beautiful combination as well. Obviously, if you have that inner strength, that will really help you to achieve that, you know, recuperation and rest and restoration. I think you'll be fine, you know. Then here with the Death card, we have the Seeress. So the Seeress is like your High Priestess card. It's a very spiritual kind of card. And once again, it's also linked in like the moon with intuition and gut feelings and just knowing things. You just know things. So you have some kind of knowledge about this ending. You kind of knew that things were going to go this way. Then for the Two of Wands, you have the King of Summer. So potentially this could be, like I said, the Two of Wands can be like a twin flame card. So some do regard it as being linked to a type of love. The King of Summer is like your King of Cups. So he can also be a very romantic type of king. He's often of the water sign or signs or houses, water houses, or significant rulership of water in his chart, if this is an individual. And they will be, you know, 30 plus age range, a leader, but of that, you know, empathic, compassionate, loving, open-hearted, kind of disposition. If it isn't an individual, it could just be something that you are learning at this time, which combined with these Two of Wands is actually a really interesting combination. Having this expansive energy with this like open-hearted, loving energy. It kind of does sound like you have become enlightened, really. Just that energy alone. The Four of Cups, to clarify, we have the Two of Spring. So this is like your Wands card. So this is like your central card, again, doubled. Interesting, it's in the line too. So for this Four of Cups was about the disappointment, which could have been with someone, or it could have just been something in your life that wasn't fulfilling and that was quite disappointing for you at this time. However, having the Two of Spring, to clarify, does confirm to me at least that it's quite a positive card to have for the Four of Cups, because it brings you out of yourself. It makes you kind of want to do stuff, want to explore. It's that fire energy, so it's active. Instead of just sitting around and kind of feeling sorry for yourself, you'll actually think, you know, I might actually like do, you know, in this picture they're doing some, I think, drawing or writing or something, you know. They're keeping busy and exploring their world. So keeping their mind off their troubles. And I think that will be really helpful for you to do that too. So then for the Six of Swords, which was all about passing over that hard time into easier times, you have the King of Winter. So he's like your King of Swords. So the King of Swords is quite different from your King of Cups. He's like the air king. So if it's a person in your life, they'll have strong air in their chart, or air houses, or air ruling planets, you know, significantly placed. And, you know, they'll be very intellectual, a leader in their field, intelligent, analytical, critical, sharp-minded, and also no nonsense. You know, they won't want to deal with the nonsense of the world. However, they're also not the, you know, they're not like that materially minded or emotionally, so they're quite closed off from those things. So interesting, if it's not an individual at this time, and they could be someone that's helped you through this hard stage, someone that maybe has given you advice or has helped you on some kind of intellectual level. If not, it may be saying that you need to take on these qualities at this time. So to get through this to the other side, you really need to kind of use your intellectual leadership qualities to help yourself. Then for the moon, we have the 3 of winter to clarify, which is actually an interesting combination too. So your 3 of winter is like your 3 of swords. So it is traditionally a card of like heartbreak. Here we have them, looks like they're kind of gossiping about something. You know, it has that not the most positive energy. However, this card really is pointing to what is not working in your life. Something has ended. There's some kind of loss, but really it was for the best. So, you know, don't worry too much. Obviously grieve and, you know, do what you've got to do, which the moon here is telling me that you really need to kind of go within and listen to your higher self and your intuition. Let it guide you as to what to do about this situation. And also your dreams. Your dreams could be telling you a lot at this time as well. Then for the World card here, we have the 6 of Spring to clarify. So the Spring cards, once again, are like the Wands cards. So the 6 of Wands is a card of successful. It's not exactly completion, but it is a sense of victory. So it's also a victory where others are also celebrating your success. So it's not just about you. It's not just you. It's acknowledgement from people outside of yourself that you have achieved something significant. So interesting that you have this world and this closing up of something here. Closing up, fulfillment, and this success and victory, which is kind of on show for others. It's very interesting energies. Okay, so the next cards I'm going to pull from are the magical messages from the fairies. And on the bottom of the deck, we have business venture. Trust and follow through on a new business idea or career opportunity. And that's the base of the deck. The first card, however, is ask for what you want, let the universe and other people know what you need. And this is to do with this Chariot with the Fool card. So that active energy, which is very much, it's also linked to leadership, but it's about taking the reins and guiding your life in the direction you want it to go. And then the Fool is about this new beginning. So ask for what you want. The central card you have is spiritual teacher. Your life purpose involves teaching others about healing and spirituality. So that is really interesting, having this 2 of Wands and the King of Summer, which to me was having a very spiritual combination, that fire and that water. And then this one is saying spiritual teacher. So healing and spirituality and teaching. Then you have for the base of the matter, new career. Your work focus is shifting in a positive, new and successful direction. So this is for the moon with the 3 of winter. So this thing that may have ended that's caused heartbreak could be your career. It could be your career or, you know, your work, whatever it was you were doing with your time, and you found something intuitively you're going to follow instead, something that resonates better for you. The next cards I'm going to use are the Fairies Oracle, and they are the Froud Fairies. And on the bottom of the deck we have Ta-Om, the poet. So he represents clear sight, poetry, erotic energy, laughter, not getting into serious mischief. When Ta-Om turns up in a reading, his presence suggests that youthful spirits and energy abound. This is the time to do exciting things and to tackle projects you've been wanting to do, but for which you perhaps felt you didn't have the time or energy. It may even be the time to write about them, but you probably need to do them first. Ta-Om often shows up in readings for people who have a talent and inclination for writing, poetry, adventure, fantasy, or anything else. Possibly the only thing he ever gets very serious about is his writing, and he will spend all the time he needs searching for just the right word. Speaking and writing with conviction and sincerity and the ability to persuade others are indicated by Ta-Om's presence, along with an outpouring of ideas. You may also find yourself thinking about romance and deciding that you want more of it in your life. This doesn't necessarily mean looking for someone new. It might well involve putting some romantic fizz into a relationship that has become overly routine. So that's the base of the matter. I mean, not the base, that's the bottom of the deck, the underlying energies of the month. Then your crowning card, you have Spirit Dancer. Central card, Tighten the Sylph. And the base of the matter, the Singer of Transfiguration. Wow. So your crowning card is Spirit Dancer, which represents self-expression, freedom, and exploration. Now is the time to focus and really concentrate on a project or process, especially one involving the creative arts. Spontaneity balanced by self-discipline will help us achieve our goals. Strive for elegance and simplicity. This is a time to bring out and share qualities that we have nurtured in private. Wow, so that's the ask for what you want. Creativity. Then your central card, you have Tighten the Sylph, who represents acute intellect, quickness, mental synthesis, and discernment. What we see here is mental quickness, adaptability, and enthusiasm. Ideas and opinions abound. A few are brilliant, but others vary from mediocre to downright silly. Be selective. Mental and psychic abilities may be awakening. Independent thinking is in operation. New ideas and new versions of old ideas are creating an exciting, effervescent atmosphere. Avoid excess and extremes. Minds may change often as new ideas and new ways of seeing bubble to the surface. Out of conflict and confusion, resolved by goodwill and clear thinking, a new and better understanding may come. And that's linked with this spiritual teacher. Then the base of the matter, symbolizing the Singer of Transfiguration, transformation, transcendence, and metamorphosis. This card in a reading signifies the joy of success after a time of struggle. A new way of life has been accepted and is being integrated. A sense of inner peace is growing. The struggle has been all worth it. This is a time of consolidation and joy, and is both a reward for past achievements and a time of preparation for the next climb up the path. Wow. It feels like this reading is just going like up and up. That's so interesting. The next cards I have for you are the Fairy Ring Oracle. So on the bottom of the deck for you is Herfest, the Fairy Festival. So Herfest indicates fruition, completion, harvest, reward, recognition, success through hard work, and bounty. So, wow, I'll take that as a sign. So that was for the bottom of the deck, the underlying energies for the month. And then you have for the crowning card, Midsummer, another fairy festival. King Finvara, who is the autumn king, for the center. And the spring lady, the white lady, as the base of the matter. So this is your crowning card, the Midsummer. And the Midsummer ushers in joyful energies of magic, enchantment, consummation, culmination, celebration, delight, fun, light, illumination, and clarity. So wow, beautiful. And it's linked to that Spirit Dancer, which was all about, you know, being more creative, tapping into your creative abilities and things that you've been hiding. So potentially there could be something also happening here in the Midsummer for you, linked to this reading, wherever that is for you, wherever you are in the year. And the central card, we have the King Finvara, the King of Autumn. So he represents authority and authority figures, government, the law, legal settlements, contracts and agreements. He may even indicate a real person in your life who'd be a mature man who's concerned with social issues and people, is compassionate, sensitive, and emotionally supportive. And so that was linked to the Self. And then for the base of the matter, you have the White Lady. So she indicates a visit to a special place or a particular event will lead to great changes in your thinking and way of life. It may not seem significant when it happens, but a tiny seed planted in your subconscious, from little acorns mighty oaks grow. The White Lady may betoken a real person in your life, an attractive girl or young woman who is fun-loving, convivial, and adventurous. She can be very loyal and warm friend, but is easily hurt. Upset her and you will make a bad enemy. So that's your fairy ring cards for the month. And then the last cards I have for you are the Fairy Tale Lenormand. And on the bottom of the deck, we do have the Anchor. So there's an underlying energy of like stability here, which is interesting because we had all those travel cards. So the first card, we do have the Rider, and the Rider can indicate travel and often a message. Then we have the Fish. The Fish is often about money and business. And the Tree is often about health, good health, especially recovery from an illness, but also about family and family trees and, you know, maybe even a significant family. So the Anchor with the Rider suggests that you'll get a message that's very satisfying and it will be linked to achieving goals. The Anchor with the Fish is about finding stability in material things, being restrained also by material things. The Anchor with the Tree does represent stable health and also physical restraint and strong stability and routines. The fish with the rider signifies financial news and business news. The fish with the tree signifies an increase in wealth, financial stability, and family business. So these are the cards that I have for you for the month of July, Aquarius. I hope you have a fantastic month. So normally at the end, I do a little bit of astrological musings about your sign for the month. And so as I was saying earlier, currently we do have the North Node in Aquarius. So the kind of fate of the world at the moment has a very Aquarian, energy to it. I guess you would say like the Dharmic kind of energies. And then at the moment we do have True Sky, the Sun in True Sky Gemini, and also Mercury, which is retrograde. However, they are both in Mercury, so they could be trining your Aquarius placements this month, which could bring a lot of positive energy. And even that like spiritual energy, the Sun is a very spiritual, and even Mercury, it's of the mind, but it's intelligent as well. So potentially we had a lot of that spiritual kind of energy here. And then also potentially the Uranus, we did have the Uranus-Mars conjunction. It's still there, but it's not as close as it was a few days back, like last week. But that could have been challenging your Aquarius placement or placements. And I wonder if maybe that's why we have maybe the Death, and also we had the Three of Wands. We didn't really have many negative cards at all this reading. And if we did, they were kind of clarified by a more positive one. So I do find that really interesting, that, and I feel like it's to do with you, the node being in your sign right now, that there's like a real destiny for Aquarians at the moment, which is great, but yeah, so I don't really see a lot of challenging things going on. You do have obviously the South Node and Venus are now conjoined, and they are opposing Aquarius, which could be opposing your placements. Obviously it depends on whether that node is conjoined your placement or placements or not. And it also depends on what else is going on in your chart, what are the signs and placements you have. So the Sun will be in True Sky Gemini until around the 17th of this month, and then it will move into True Sky Cancer. And we do currently have the Mercury retrograde, which will still be there until the 23rd of July. Then it will go direct. And then we also have now the Neptune is retrograding until the 12th of December. And then we also are still in the Pluto retrograde until the 16th of October. The new moon this month is, from where I am, it's on the 14th of July, and it will be in Gemini. So it will be in Gemini no matter where you are, but it might not be on the 14th everywhere around the world. And the full moon where I am is on the 30th of July, and it's a full moon in True Sky Capricorn, and the Sun is in True Sky Cancer. So Aquarius, I hope you have a fantastic month ahead. And if you have made it this far and you've gotten anything out of the reading, if it resonated, it's probably not going to all resonate, but take what resonates, leave the rest for those that need to hear it. And if you could like, comment, and or subscribe to my channel, that would be fantastic. If you already have subscribed, thank you for coming back. That's really amazing, because I really appreciate every single one of you. So thank you for all your lovely likes and shares and subscribes and comments, and for helping grow this channel. So wishing you all the best. Bye.